Hold your horses, because this is the most terrifying news we've had all year.
We are instructed by Hamas. We are today at the Home Office and we are going to hand in an application under Section 4 of the Terrorism Act to have them removed from the list of proscribed organisations.
Yes, this is not a joke, guys. Hamas is bringing a legal case against the UK Home Office to try and get them off the list of proscribed terrorist organisations. This is terrifying.
We have the application in here, which contains very, very strong legal arguments grounded in national and international law. And we're about to hand it to Yvette Cooper and ask her to have some courage and make the correct decision.
Jesus Christ. Absolutely terrifying. The implications of this are so scary and just absolutely horrific for our national security if they are able to get Hamas taken off the list of proscribed terrorist organisations. Can you imagine the consequences? I mean, terrorists, they won't even have to try and sneak in illegally into the country. Hamas will be welcome with open arms. I mean, Keir Starmer will probably even, offer them a banquet dinner to welcome, our friends in Hamas, to use Jeremy Corbyn's words. I mean, this is just unbelievable. So this is called the Hamas case. If you go to hamascase.com, you can see all of the documents. I'm going to show you a little look at one of those in a minute. There are a lot of documents, but here is just a snippet of some of the bits from this case. So we see it written in the documents: Hamas is not a terrorist group. It is a Palestinian Islamic liberation and resistance movement whose goal is to liberate Palestine and confront the Zionist project, wrote Musa Abu Marzouk, head of international relations for Hamas, and the applicant for the claim to the UK Home Secretary in a signed and submitted witness statement provided to JobSite. We also look outwards to draw inspiration from the glorious tradition of all those peoples and groups who have resisted colonialism, David Lammy will lap that up, occupation and imperialism in the name of justice, dignity and human equality. Hamas talking about dignity and human equality. Didn't care about the dignity of those girls that they slaughtered on October 7th, do they? Referencing historical struggles against colonialism and imperialism across the world. The legal summary prepared by lawyers representing Hamas highlights the African National Congress in South Africa and Sinn Féin and the Irish Republican Army in Ireland as historical analogues to Hamas and the fight for Palestinian liberation. Now, I want you guys to guess. We're going to get to it in a second, but I want you guys to start guessing now which laws you think Hamas are using to try and get themselves off the terrorist list. No special prizes for the winning guess, but have a think. But in the meantime, let's look at these details. Hamas has vowed to contest its prescription as a terror group, prompting widespread outrage. The Palestinian militant group instructed British lawyers to challenge the designation, arguing it was a political decision by former Home Secretary Dame Priti Patel. A political decision! Have you seen the way Hamas behave? Critics branded Hamas a despicable terrorist organisation which kidnaps, tortures and murders people, including British nationals. Riverway Law, an immigration firm based in Streatham, has confirmed it has begun legal proceedings against the Home Office. They said on Wednesday, that is today, Fahad Ansari of Riverway Law launches an important legal application to Yvette Cooper MP to end the ban of the organisation Hamas. Now let's have a look at the document here. This is what you've all been waiting for, okay? You don't want to read the whole thing. In fact, this is one of, I think, 20 odd legal documents on the website. If you want to read them all, you can go to hamascase.com. But I just thought, you know what? Let's just do a little Command F on this document. And let's put in ECHR. And we get 23 instances of ECHR. You can't see everything on the screen share here that I'm doing, okay? But this is just littered with ECHR, human rights. They're using free speech to argue for their case. That's just one of the ECHR rules they are using. Apparently we are limiting people's free speech by not allowing them to support Hamas. And I just want to remind you who these monsters are and how much of a danger they are, but I'm gonna let the ex-mayor of the Gaza Strip. Explain it to you for me.
How do you think it got to a point where there's so much hatred in between one group versus the other, when it's just people that are literally living on the other side of the road?
They are living in different territory. They are living in different land, under different reality. I used to be there. I was part of the occupation. Okay, I was the mayor. I was the mayor there for what? To serve them. I created jobs for them. We were blamed during the years that we are not a democracy because we are occupiers. Okay, so what we did is we implemented Oslo. So they will be ruled by a different entity, not by us. And yes, the PA came there, Yasser Arafat came there, they took over it, and it came out worse. And then Hamas took it, and it became way worse than that.
Wait until we
compare
them to
one
ISIS.
of the things that I want to be clear about is the evolution of evil. Because when people say Hamas is ISIS, they flatter Hamas. It's a compliment.
That's saying something.
ISIS or Hamas?
Hamas. It's a compliment to Hamas. What happened to them is that they are an entity worse than ISIS. Because even ISIS in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Idlib, they raped women. We know that. But not 25 terrorists on one woman. They raped women.
Disgusting.
We know that.
Yeah.
But they didn't cut the breast and played football with the breast that they cut. They raped women.
Horrible.
We know that. But they didn't. But they kept her alive later on, or they killed her with a bullet in the head and not the bullet between her legs. Or we found her with open legs, burned. They killed, and we've seen executions that they succeeded to cut the head of somebody, but they never cooked a baby in an oven. Okay?
Oh, I
That's
can't
the
believe they did
difference.
that. It's unbelievable.
So when you say they are ISIS, you flatter them.
Wow, that's saying something.
They are more evil than the devil. And I'm not a guy that you can blame historically that I have something against them.
Yeah.
I was the mayor of Gaza. I'm the only IDF officer that they honored me and they named a kid after me. It's an honor. And I cannot tell you today what I feel. It's not, I don't hate them. I just feel nothing.
There we go. I mean, that says it all, doesn't it? Okay, that is what is potentially coming to Britain if this legal case is successful. And I'm genuinely terrified for the safety of this country, because I am very, very scared that this legal case will be successful. Okay, it's full of ECHR legislation, that application. Okay, we've seen all the ridiculous cases in the news recently, chicken nuggets and all the rest of it. You can basically give any reason in the world to stay in Britain, and you will be allowed to stay. I expect that Hamas, they'll be able to give, they probably just take the first sentence of the application and they'll see ECHR mentioned once and they'll go, yep, stamp of approval. You guys are no longer a terrorist organisation. You guys are best friends. As I said, Keir Starmer will probably host, a big banquet dinner for them, invite them all in, have meetings for them, bring them to number 10. Maybe they'll meet the king as well. I mean, who knows? But this is genuinely very, very, very scary. This is the Hamas propaganda machine on a whole new level. They have done a good job so far of managing to brainwash, young students in the West. But this is another big step. If they get taken off that proscribed terrorist organization list, we are in big trouble. Anyway, I'm Chloe Dobbs. That is the latest. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to Reasoned if you've not already. We're also looking for new contributors at the moment, so if you're young and want to make videos for Reasoned like this, please drop us a 1-minute video to the email join@reasoned.uk and we will take a look.